Allow me to introduce Digital Dissidence, the new studio and new project that are doing things a little bit different. Digital Dissidence already has 2 game modes fully playable, with more being developed. We have a character customization system, full account system, even in-game polling to get feedback directly from subscribers. The first game mode is Mischiefs, a prop hunt style game set in a science fiction world. The first map is a research space station where strange things are happening. One team is the Wranglers, armed with a scanner and a lightning cannon. Wranglers are out to hunt down and disable the nanite swarms that have taken over the station. The other team is the nanite swarms, known as Mischiefs. Mischiefs can turn into almost any object on board the space station and blend in seamlessly. Not content to sit around hiding, Mischiefs have a variety of taunts to torment the Wranglers trying to find them. Both Wranglers and Mischiefs get special abilities to make the game more interesting, and unlike in other prop hunt games, you're never out of the action. If you are found and disabled, you spawn again and continue to have fun. The longer you stay alive, the more points you earn. Wranglers earn points by finding Mischiefs and lose points for collateral damage by destroying other objects on the space station. To keep the game fresh and interesting, there are randomizers to which props spawn each round so that you can never simply memorize the level. If you're looking for a fully cooperative experience or want to fly solo, try out Mischief Hunts. All players are on the Wrangler team, and there are dozens of NPC Mischiefs hidden around the level. You must find and disable all Mischiefs before time runs out. Earn points for finding Mischiefs, lose points for destroying objects, and gain points based on the time remaining. And this is only the beginning. If I have piqued your interest, stick around as I go into more detail about the project, the studio, our goals, and how the Kickstarter money will be used. I'm a fan of transparency. Maybe it is the nerd in me or simply my passion for game design, but I've always enjoyed showing behind the scenes, discussing development, and talking with players about whatever game I was working on. What you are seeing now is recorded in real time and hasn't been edited outside of cropping to hide my taskbar and cutting the recording down to keep it from being too long. That also means you are seeing our highlights and our bugs and our work in progress as we do this playthrough. Starting with the character you're seeing now. These are holdovers from the starter assets we used to get the project initially up and running. Players will only have access to the customizable characters that we are showing right now. I've been working in the video game industry for over 15 years, mainly at large MMO studios. I started out in QA, moved to design, specialized in systems design, became a lead designer, managed large game economies and business plans, and have worked as a design director. While I've worked on some amazing products and created experience I'm very proud of, I wanted to tackle something different. I wanted to build a project that was focused on fun, multiplayer experiences and that wasn't built around microtransactions. An experience where myself and the team could get feedback directly from players, discuss the game with everyone that's playing it or interested in it, and be open and transparent throughout the process. The goal of Digital Dissidence is to be just that, a game and a studio that is focused on the players and funded by the players. Another approach to game design that I believe in is making sure the game is always playable. From the first moments of this project, anyone who had the installer could jump in, join, or host a server and play. From there, we added layers of gameplay and systems to continue to improve the experience. That is still true right now. The game is hosted on Xsolar, which is what we just saw me log in through, and it has been approved for full release. Anyone who has the installer can install, update, create an account, and start playing either of the game modes currently implemented. When our funding is successful, all the backers who chose an early access tier will be given the installer and will be playing right away, not months or years later as with most Kickstarter projects. What we're seeing now is the character customization, which still has more work to be done, but is fairly robust already. One of the main areas that Kickstarter funding is going to go towards is improving this character, especially its animations, which need a lot of work, and adding more customization options such as more clothing, heads, hair, so that all the players in a match feel unique. And to show our bugs and quirks in real time, we just recently broke a few of the head sliders here, such as a smile, which is really an expression slider. Currently allows the character face to switch from a frown through neutral to a smile with a lot of subtle variation in between. In the long run, I'd like to be able to have the player choose from numerous expressions and have those expressions adjust the entire face, not just the mouth. Digital Dissidence will have a wide variety of game modes, but they're all played with the same character, so it's important to make sure that there are a lot of options so the players can create a character they connect and identify with. We're exploring how to add more variation while having it be easy to use. One of those approaches is allowing the player to adjust the material of the clothing for added textures. These adjustments allow the clothing to go from cotton feel to leather or latex, and each piece of clothing can be adjusted independently. You'll see that on the jacket here in just a moment. Some of the other framework of this game is that we are using networking that was created to host 200-player battle royale games where all players are playing simultaneous. We don't plan on hosting 200 players, but this networking is very robust and it's fully synchronized, meaning every player truly sees the same thing at the same time, so much so that the server could be rewound or replayed and it would all be the same all over again. We believe that's important to have a good foundation, have good technical levels before building all the gameplay so that we know where it's going to be responsive, it's going to be quick, it's going to feel right when you're playing and when you're aiming at other players, and the entire experience will be all the more enjoyable. Now let's spin up a server to show the gameplay flow and the level layout. This is the game mode Mischief, and we start off as a Mischief. Almost every item you see that isn't part of the structure or the space station is something you can turn into. There'll be a lot more objects throughout these halls, as the level is still being worked on, but the overall layout is in a good place, and now it's about adjusting the feel, getting the propping just right, adjusting the lighting so everything feels immersive and exciting. When you turn into objects, you have the option to lock your facing while moving the camera, both to allow you to look around without giving yourself away, and to allow you to move the object from the direction you want to face while trying to position yourself to blend perfectly in. And as you probably noticed in the countdown timer in the lower left, as a Mischief you get a random taunt with a random timer. These taunts come in 3 categories: audio, visual, and special. You have the option to use the taunt at any point before the timer runs out, but if you don't use it, it automatically is used when the timer reaches 0, as we're about to see right now with some fireworks. Every time your timer reaches 0, you also get a new random taunt and a new timer, and that continues throughout the whole game. An audio taunt selects a random sound from a list of sounds on the player. Most of these sounds also happen throughout the level itself, but different sounds play in different areas of the map, such as an alarm clock that sounds in players' bunk areas, so if you hear an alarm in the halls or medical lab, you know there's a Mischief around. And right there, you saw me finding a bug. As I was recording this, I have to turn off the occlusion in those walls, and that's why you see that bit of flickering. That's what happens when we're still in progress, but again, I want to be transparent and show you all of it. As you saw, visual taunts play effects from the object. Currently, they're all versions of fireworks, but we'll have different types of visual effects over time. And the only special taunt right now is a radar ping that shows your rough location on the map for all Wranglers to see. So as you can see, while I'm playing this game alone right now for the recording of this video, everything is very responsive, it turns very quickly, all my actions instantly read, because again, the frames per second is very high, the networking is extremely strong. And that is why we feel we were ready to start bringing players in. We're ready to open it up to early access, to start getting feedback, to start seeing how the game reacts as different players are playing on multiple servers in different ways, and start learning what the problems are that we need to fix, and seeing what gamers are finding fun and what they're finding not fun, so we can keep improving the experience. We want to work with players, we want to create a great experience. Is it about building a solid game experience for everyone, not specifically just what we want to build or play? Part of the level design is to have color indicators to let you know which way you're going. You've probably noticed these cyan walls here, which is the right side or starboard if you were a ship, and the magenta is the left side or the port side of the ship. You also have a wall that we saw earlier that was yellow, that tells you that's towards the front of the ship, and then a wall that was silver, and that's towards the aft of the ship. We're going to use one of the player's abilities now, which is Replicate. That duplicates you as an object, and that object moves exactly opposite that you do. So when you move one direction, it moves the opposite. You move left, it moves right. You move forward, it moves back. That is useful when a Wrangler's starting to find you. Use that, start running off. They have to choose who to chase. If they destroy the wrong one, they lose points. If they find you, they get points. You're starting to see some of the areas of the map that we also showed in the opening of the video. There's a server room, there's a mess hall, there's a reception area. There's a dock area for spaceships that's still in progress, so I haven't shown that yet. There is command stations and observation decks, bunk rooms, so many different places with different props, different elements to hide and play the game. Let's pop into a match of Mischief hunts, both so you can see that game mode, see the player character, and see why our animations need some work. This is a game mode that you could fully play on your own, but it's even more fun playing with others. As you can hear from the sounds and see on the map here as these radar pings start showing up, there are mischiefs all over this entire map who are taunting me into trying to find them all. And this is how easy it is to already get absorbed into this game mode. I'm trying to record this video just to show what you're doing, but I'm seeing different pings and I'm trying to decide where to go, and they're pulling me in different directions until I finally commit to checking out this bunk room. Now I know there are mischiefs in here. I saw the radar ping. Currently the NPC mischiefs don't move. They're just hidden as objects and you have to find all which ones. So I'm in here trying to scan, trying to find. And then one of the objects lets loose fireworks, so I start blasting away. But unfortunately I chose the wrong object, so I just lost 5 points. Now I try the monitors. Turns out it's not the monitors either. Another -5 points. Now I'm 10 points, and my lightning cannon's out of energy, so now I have to wait for it to fully recharge. But I'm pretty sure that lamp is a mischief at this point. There's nothing else over there. And so now as my lightning cannon charges, it will play a sound to let me know when it's fully charged. And you can see the bar on the side of the screen down the bottom right. That also lets me know its current charge. So now I blast away this mischief, and sure enough, it was a mischief, so I gained 10 points and I'm back to 0. I know there's more mischiefs in this room. Let's see if I can find one before I go. Those fireworks help so much. I know it's this object, I'm very sure this time. And now I'm positive 10 points as I've found 2 mischiefs and destroyed 2 objects that I shouldn't have destroyed. Now we also haven't done a proper pass yet on all the objects. That's coming up soon, but we have the ability to set different healths for different objects. And we're going to use that to set different healths for different sizes. So when you're a small object, it doesn't have a lot of health. It gets destroyed very easily. But it's also much easier to hide. A big object like a couch gets more health, but it's because you're out in the open, you're not going to be able to hide as easy. And there I found another mischief, got another 10 points. So the last thing I thought I'd show you is that we've starting to get this poll system working in game. So I started off with a very important poll of what is the best cookie. Now, as you're looking at this, I'm sure you already know the right answer is chocolate chip, which it is. So I'm going to choose for that to vote. As soon as that's nailed down, we'll start using the polls to get feedback. There'll be developer chats. We'll be in there playing with the players. We believe in a video game community. We believe in a shared experience. So we want to work with you. We want to build games for you. We want to make a great experience that everyone can have fun. I want to keep this short because I know your time is valuable, but I do enjoy discussing game development, the processes that we're using, why we're doing what we're doing, and simply talking with players or anyone that's interested. So if there are topics you'd like me to go more in depth on, or if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them, happy to make more videos, happy to talk about whatever you want. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all who end up supporting this project. We're going to change the way that games are made